The beginning of a new decade is always so exciting, except for 2020. Yeah, this year sucked. But the beginning of every other decade brings new hopes, trends, fashions, movies, etc. And 1980 was no different. 1980 saw the release of the Rubik's Cube, or as I like to call it, the Kitty Lament configuration. It was also the year that the United States Olympic hockey team defeated the hated Ruskies, portrayed accurately in The Miracle starring Jack Burton. And who is Jack Burton, you may ask? Him! That's Jack Burton. And 1980 also saw the release of a little B movie that has won the hearts and minds of horror fans for the last 4 decades. And for good reason. Hi everyone, I'm Hyde, and welcome to my review of Motel Hell. An oldie by today's standards, but still a goodie. So, where to begin with this charmingly deranged entry into 1980 schlock horror? The plot, you say? Great idea. So, brother and sister farmers Vincent and Ida live on a farm attached to the Motel Hello. Yeah, that's definitely not an obviously deceiving name of a motel hiding some nasty secret. I would never stay there. That's all I'm saying. Besides running the farm and the motel, Farmer Vincent also sells his world-famous smoked meats to local customers who are just all too happy to get a taste of his secret family recipe that he keeps hidden in his garden. Meanwhile, people begin to go missing, lured in by such elaborate traps as placing cardboard cows on the road and placing false swingers ads to attract victims. However, one of the would-be victims of these traps manages to survive, an attractive young woman named Terry that Farmer Vincent brings back to the motel to nurse her back to health. This gets the attention of Vincent and Ida's younger brother Bruce, who left home at the age of 11 to pursue his lifelong dream of becoming the town's one and only bumbling sheriff. And he proceeds to try to woo her in ways that today might constitute stalking, threats, and assault. But hey, it was 1980. But in a twist only befitting a cheap lowbrow horror movie from 1980, she begins to fall for the not at all creepy old dude and the two plan to marry. Needless to say, jealousy runs rampant, and all hell breaks loose when Farmer Vincent finally reveals to Terry what his secret to his famous meats is. If that sounds dumb, well, it is. But it's also extremely charming and a great addition to low-budget horror. One of the reasons this movie works so well is that it never takes itself too seriously. It's hard to tell if this movie was trying to be intentionally funny, but it was obvious it wasn't trying to be completely serious either, if that makes any sense. And when a movie can find that perfect balance of ridiculousness and fun, that just makes the movie that much more enjoyable. I mean, what could be more fun than a tripped out kaleidoscope hypnosis machine? If that still doesn't get you excited, then prepare to be disappointed with the writing and acting. The story and characters are extremely linear, and for those who remember basic geometry, a line is one-dimensional. I mean, the acting isn't bad per se, but it is way over the top. So if you're expecting a complex web of interconnecting, emotionally motivated characters, no, you won't find that here. But what you will find is that the combination of the one-dimensional story and characters coupled with the over-the-top acting led to some pretty memorable and endearing characters. From Ida, the ever-loyal and protective younger sister, to the way too eager swingers, and the lovable pervert sheriff hero, they were all pretty unforgettable. Still not intrigued? I can't blame you. For most of the movie, it's pretty silly and doesn't ever appear to be on a collision course to a completely insane ending, but it does. How crazy, you ask? Well, let's just say it ends in a duel. No, not that duel. Getting closer, but still no. Yeah, that's the one. A good old chainsaw duel. But it gets better. And I know, you're asking, how can a chainsaw duel get any better? The answer is simple. Have one of the combatants wear a giant decapitated pig's head. And what can be better than that? The answer is nothing. Nothing can be better than that. Motel Hell is literally the mic drop when it comes to chainsaw duels. Like seriously, no one should ever have attempted to do another chainsaw duel in a movie ever again, and if they did, they failed. Now, I have seen some reviews and articles written by people who are way smarter than me that claim this movie is a satire of movies like Psycho and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I'm not saying that's wrong, and I can even see it a little bit, but that's not the overall vibe I get from watching this movie. Like, I don't think the writers were just like, hey, do you remember that Hitchcock movie that was all famous? Yeah, let's make fun of that. I just think they were trying to make a fun movie, and they did. Unfortunately, I feel that this movie gets overshadowed by other early 1980s horror movies, particularly Friday the 13th, The Burning, and Sleepaway Camp. Which, don't get me wrong, I love those movies too. But I feel like Motel Hell has become this lost gem of the 1980s. And that kind of sucks, because it is a really enjoyable movie. So if you haven't seen it yet, or maybe you haven't seen it in a long time, I definitely recommend that you go find it, watch it, and then come back and let me know what you think. And that's all I have for this review. I really hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss out on any future content. And I will see you all next time right here on Hyde's Horror. Thanks for watching, guys.